right. Good afternoon, Demetrius. How are you today?
All right, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. We've been chatting a little bit about your resume and the type of work that you have been doing. So, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your service.
Sure, no problem.
So why don't we start there? Tell me what you did in the United States Naval Academy.
Okay, so basically, for that particular role, it was one of my biggest roles, and I'm proud to say that role it was a combination between tech support, customer support, and also web development as well. So in that role, I helped many government officials, military personnel, with making sure that their department pages were properly designed well, that they had the content they needed. I provided technical support in the case that they needed any help regarding how to make edits to the page, any type of regulatory requirements when it came to what they needed, what they were allowed to put on it, what they weren't, what they could. Um, Also, I've met with people who they came to my office area as well in regards to anything regarding how to make updates, if they needed help on how to redesign, um, just pretty much everything that encompasses their particular department's website inside of the USNA website as a whole. So that was pretty much it. I collaborated with a great team. We anything that we needed as far as coding, dealing with the content management system on the back end, we worked together. Any tutorials that we needed to make for any midshipmen or anything like that, we did it for them, and we worked together to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So any of that work that you were doing there, was it anything repetitive? Were you doing, the same thing all the time, or was it always something different for that particular role?
Um, hmm. Competitive versus, let's see. It was from what I gather, it was always different, but there were structures and procedures to make sure that we were doing things um, in a proper way. So, for example, when it came to building out a department's website, there were specific procedures we had to go through every
Hmm.
single time. So it wasn't different in that sense. As far as making content updates, those were pretty much the same. We had a procedure for that. But as far as designing, that was a little bit different. As far as the technical support side of it, whoever needed help, that varied as well. So I would say it's a mixture of the two.
Okay, fair enough. When you're working and doing something repetitive, how do you stay focused?
Um, how do I stay focused? It's really I'm just able to do that. Like if it's I just know that when I go in, I have a specific schedule. Like, okay, for example, we use Google Calendar for a lot of stuff. We also had other scheduling softwares. I just knew that when I came in, I checked in with the staff. Here are my tasks to do on today. We were given specific deadlines. Okay, you have to do this by X time. I made sure I got that done and then moved on to the next topic or moved on to the next task. And if something couldn't be done, that then it would require communication with the higher ups or with one of the government officials, it would require us to be on a strict um, schedule every day. So deadlines, I would say deadlines is probably the biggest motivation as far as staying focused.
Okay, wonderful. And then, so then were you working at Target before your service, or was that after?
So I just want to be clear. So the company that I worked for was Direct Viz. It was a subcontractor for the United States Naval Academy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you for clarifying. I must have misunderstood that. Okay, so you were working for a company who did the bid work for the government.
yeah. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I misunderstood. So that was the United now. So who was your employer of record for that position?
So it was under a company, Direct Viz at first, and then they they bid for that contract, won that contract, hired myself and a team. Then another company came in and I guess outbid them for the contract, and then we moved over to the Coleman Group. So
Okay, perfect.
it was Direct Viz. They now call themselves DVS, and I think they're located in Vienna, Virginia right now.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that, Demetrius. So I see here you provided the customer service under Direct Viz, which was the contractor for the U.S. Naval Academy. Got
Yeah,
it. Thank
yeah.
you. All right. So, and then you had 5 years customer service with Target, and are you still working for them on a part-time basis?
Yes.
Okay. And what department at Target?
So pretty much I have expanded my skills there to where I can cover almost any section. So that would be the tech department, the backroom department, the sales floor. So in regards to the tech department, I helped people who had any questions regarding any electronics, any questions, any tech related questions at all, in regards to warranties, anything they needed as far as like TVs, cell phones, any latest tech products there.
Okay.
As far as the sales floor, I helped out as far as making sure that people understood their savings that they can get, where to locate items, normal, like just pretty much normal retail, and providing the best customer service I can there. And back room, I'm utilized back there to make sure that the floor is fully stocked. And pretty much those are the three areas that I've worked there.
Okay. And then let's see, most recently, tell me a little bit about what you've been doing.
Okay, so recently, because I recently moved down to Florida. So I came from Maryland. What I was doing prior to being down here was property management. So I noticed that in the job description, one of the things that it said you needed was experience dealing with like um, regulatory things as far as I'm trying to figure out what did it say.
It was like regulatory and legal compliance.
Yeah, legal compliance and things like that. So I have experience with that because number one, I have a rental property, so I'm familiar with making sure that you stay compliant with the city. So that would be like licensing, rental licensing requirements, lead paint licensing requirements, making sure you stay compliant with the city. So I have that background. Also, I've helped in I did property management in Maryland. I've helped landlords understand the importance of compliance with the city, compliance with whatever that they were trying to do as far as um, rental licenses, what you are allowed, how many people you're allowed to rent in your unit, um, as far as the requirement to have lead paint inspections prior to tenants moving in, um, the certain laws required before evicting tenants, things like that. So I have some experience regulatory in that regulatory realm. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what I was doing prior to coming down here.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We've got a few more things to chat about.
Okay.